Good morning, stupid. Welcome back to hashtag 360 stupid. We are stupid people asking you smart people simple questions. King of stupid here, Mike check and my CCCZ. CH as in the Republic. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? All the genders, fenders, benders. I am the king of stupid. Da-da-dun-dun. Hey, how are you doing? Let's try and do this one Sunday sermon episode. And let's focus on the difficulties of loss of family and friends. What does Seva say about loss? That's a good question. So, Seva is a new, non-violent, living God. Anybody? Hey, don't go down there. Hey, look at this guy. Hey, that's. Get. Look at him. Still wants to. Hey, not that way. Come on, we'll go this way. We'll go down this way. Come on. Good boy. Good boys. Little rascals. My little rascals. Look, he's still trying to get. Dude, it's too steep here. Come on. Hey, come on. Look at where he wanted to go down. And he would have made it. He would have been okay. But it's just like, dude, I don't want to have to carry you with a busted leg, boy. I just don't want you to have a busted leg, actually. And of course, I'd carry you, my boy. Okay, so. Oh, good. I'll be on that side of the fence. We're going to go down there in the swamplands. Well, not too close. So, back to Seva. So here's the thing with Seva. Anybody's welcome to believe for free. But to worship, it's a mandatory 8.75% donation at the door, which means before taxes, by the way. Full donation to worship. We'll get into all that later. There's several episodes explaining all that if you want to listen along. So, Seva say, what do you say about loss? Loss and illness and sickness. So, for those who are not familiar with Buddha, the Buddha, His Holiness the Buddha, the Holiness Dalai Lama. Oh, by the way, I've actually seen in person, not one-on-one. I was in the crowd, way in the crowd. Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool experience. I loved what he said. He started out with, I am not any different than any of you. The only difference between you and I is that they got me when I was a kid and told me I was a spiritual guy. So I studied all day and night. That's the only difference. That's the only difference between His Holiness the Dalai Lama and you and me. Not a fucking difference. If you dedicate your life to studying one particular religion and be called the God or the reimbursed or reimburseth. Forgot what it was called. I'll come back. Then yeah, you too would be in that position. So, man, where did I go? Oh, Buddha, yeah. So the story of the Buddha was, he was born, Buddha is not his birth name. I forgot, I'll remember what it is. They're all the way down there. His Siddhartha or something like that. Good boy. Mr. Black always comes back quick. Oh, you smell something. And comes Mr. Brown. See, if Mr. Black didn't come, Mr. Brown would not come. Oh, go boys. Go boys. Huh, what you doing? Siddhartha, something like that. So, he was born to a king, and the king brought in a monk or some, whatever their religious thing is, guru, or like the head of their religious mumbo jumbo. Hey, that should be a name of my religion. Mumbo jumbo Seva. So, sorry. Okay, where was he? Where was we? We was talking about Svarta. Svarta? Hey, it's almost like Seva. 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 That's interesting, huh? Seva. Oh, there's the water. So the priest or the monk said, this boy will be very popular, will be loved by the people, but the path might go two ways. He's either going to stay and become one of the greatest kings, or he's going to give up everything and live forever without any possessions. Now, the monk couldn't or didn't explain. He said this boy, this baby, cannot see or something of the sick or the elderly or the dying or something like that, right? So, Svarta. Oh, there he goes. The sow rabbit. My boys. Did you get that rabbit? My rabbit. So they didn't, so basically he grew up in the palace walls, never was allowed out. Nobody ill or old or dying was allowed in. So he never saw anybody sick. He never saw anybody old and never saw anybody dying. And as he's growing up, oh, there you go. I got another one. Look at him, right in front of him, missed it. Mr. Brown's tired. Where'd he go, buddy? Where'd he go? Where'd that rabbit go? Did you get him? Huh? Did you get that rabbit? Good boys. So, Svarta wanted to always go outside of the palace just because it's his nature, like our nature, to want to explore what's there, what's what. And had I think he had a very good friend that helped him jump the wall or get out one day. And he's going down the streets within a cart or whatever. So he's not like walking, because he didn't know what's going on. So he went out in a horse and carriage. And as he's going along, he sees sick people laying out, and he asks his buddy, he said, "What's that?" He says, "What do you mean?" He goes, "That." He says, "That person, what's wrong with that person?" He goes, "Oh, he's sick." He's sick? What's sick? Because he's never been told about illnesses or sickness or anything. So he explains that people get sick. Because people get sick. I've never seen anybody sick. And then they go down more. And he sees, what is it, birth, sickness, and death. Yeah. He sees somebody being born. He goes, "What's going on there?" He goes, somebody's being born. He goes, "Being born, what is that?" And blah, 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 explains what birth is. And then there's a somber moment where there's a crowd of people or something, and he sees a dead body. He goes, "What's going on there?" He says, the driver or his friend or whatever explains death. So he says, "I have enough. I've had enough. Take me back. Take me back, driver. Take me back." I've had enough. Oh, that hurt my shoulder. Darn it. That's what happens when you get old and you get your arm twisted several times. That's another story for another time. Oh, buddy. So, yes. So he went back. And then I think he went to the monk and he goes, "What's this? Why haven't you taught me this or that, blah, 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 blah." So he ends up taking off. Oh, I think he got married actually. Yeah, I think he got married and had a kid and then took off or something like that. Yeah. Oh, I think it was after his wedding that he jumped the fence. So he said, I have to go, and I've been living a lie. He said, this isn't real. Nobody's dying, nobody's sick, nobody's being born around me. He wanted to go and explore life. So he relinquished, that's the word, relinquished everything, all possessions, and went on his quest for enlightenment, to figure out what life is, what's it all about. He sat, this is, the story of, and meditated and achieved enlightenment. That's a whole bunch of stories I'm not going to get into. And, damn, getting old, man. Actually, I'm out of shape. That's what it is. Get back into shape here. Oh, I'm gonna start lifting, yo. I'm gonna get pumped. And so he goes and gets enlightened, and they asked him about death, and that's what the whole point of this was. Started out for a Sunday sermon about loss. Loss and sickness. Oh, Buddha. So Buddha's sitting there. So he's achieved enlightenment, and he's sitting there and meditating. And now he's got a crowd of people. Now he's become a major figurehead. Now Buddha never said he's a god. Never said there is a god. So Buddha is recognized to be a human being, just a man like you and me, who was said to achieve enlightenment. That's it. That's all he said. He never said I'm a god. He never said I'm superior, supreme, or anything. He also said anybody can achieve enlightenment, but you just got to do the work that it takes to get there. And that's what a lot of the story about him is, the work to get there. Of course, the majority of all the teachings were afterwards, but that's the thing. You got to work to get there. Now, as far as loss, so some lady came to Buddha and said, I just had a child, the child passed or something like that. You're the Buddha, bring it back to life, He said, I think that's about the time that he said, I'm not a god, I'm just another person, blah, blah, blah. She goes, she just wouldn't relinquish. She just would not stop. She said, I want you to help me. And so he goes, okay, fine. He goes, you have to do certain things. You have to bring me certain things so that I could bring a certain thing back to you. She said, what? He said, just one thing. Now, this is in the region of India or Nepal or whatever. So mustard seeds was the big thing there, right? Everybody had mustard seeds. It's a very common thing especially back in them days. And so Buddha said, fine, bring me back one single mustard seed, which is tiny. If you go ask anybody at that time for a single mustard seed, they'd be like, yeah, sure, man, here's 15,000 of them, a handful. Go house to house and ask everyone and anyone that has not lost a life in that home, and from that home you bring me one mustard seed, and that will bring your child back, or whoever the person was. And this lady, like most ladies, determined, awesome powerhouse lady, as all are all women, in my opinion. So she went around house to house to house to house to house to house, 2 house, 3 house, 4 house to house to house, and heard stories after stories after stories of loss of babies, families, elderly, the sick, mothers, fathers, brothers, everywhere. There's loss everywhere. She went back to Buddha with no seed, but the wisdom and knowledge, knowing that when there's life, there will be sickness, and after sickness, some point, there will be the end of life. She heard the stories of many, many losses and shared her loss. And understood that she cannot have what she asked for. That we all lose and we all go away at some time. It's about the here and now. It's about where you are and what you're doing. Loss is difficult not for those who are lost, but those who remain. Yeah, so that's what Seva says. How to handle loss really depends on the individuals. Different ways of dealing with different things. I think primarily having a sense of peace for yourself is a big factor. So being in a sense of peacefulness carries a lot. Preparation is I think this is where a lot of people get lost. Preparation. Prepare, to be prepared. Preparation. I think it's the Buddhists who wrote a book called The Book of the Dead, or Dying, or Preparing to Die, or something like that. The Book of the Dying. It's basically, from my understanding, I haven't really read it or heard it being played to me. I have a Buddhist friend who, you know what, that would be a nice interview with him. The Buddhist religion says you can prepare yourself for the passing, meaning preparing your body, your breathing, what happens, your heart, your mind, these types of things, your brain dying, what happens to you physically when your brain's dying. So you're basically preparing, you're practicing what happens with your body when you're when the shift is basically happening. Look at that, it's pretty nice swampland in the desert. Oh buddy, what you doing? Oh man, I hope you didn't go swim. Hey! 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 Oh darn it. I think he's going in. Hey! Come on! Oh man. I think we're gonna have to cut it off here, y'all. Alright, y'all, I gotta cut it here. Damn it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, all other genders, fenders, benders, I am Mike Check, king of stupid here at hashtag 360 stupid. Oh, nope, here he is. Sorry, y'all. Look at this guy. Come on. Hey. Yeah, I gotta train these guys. I gotta put in more time training them. They've been so good, you know, like they usually come and stuff, but this is the times that I need to make sure Mr. Brown returns. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all other genders, fenders, benders, I am Mike Check. Oh, I don't know what's going on, man. Little rascal. Messed up my thing. It's easier to blame somebody else. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and call this Sunday sermon. Talking about loss and illness and sickness. Illness and sickness. If you're born, so Buddha. So that's what the lady. Yeah, let me go ahead and finish this up. Now that he's here. Little rascals, my little rascals. Oh, buddy. So the lady understood that loss is part of life, and if you don't lose, then well, there's no. It's not that if you don't lose, there's no not losing, you know. So that's part of life. It's It's difficult for those who remain. I hope, man, immortality. I think the way the healthcare is going and science in that sense looks like we're gonna live quite a long time. We're gonna average over 100 pretty soon here. I'd say maybe about the next 20 years. Hopefully the supercomputers will come and make the safe decisions for us ding dong humans, especially men. Jesus, we're so violent. We're so stupid. We are stupid. Dun 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 dun. Non-violent people. New non-violent living God. You understand what that means? No violence, people. Peace. Oh, hey, I don't think I've cursed this one. Trying not to curse so I don't have to put the adult content on. Especially for my Sunday sermons, I think it'll be nice if children start learning to understand and appreciate the new non-violent living gods. Non-violent people, non-violent. I will be literally the only God that's non-violent. All of them are so violent. There's always violence. No violence, people. Come on. Peace. Peace. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all the gender offenders, benders, I am my Czech king of stupid here at hashtag 360 stupid, about to sign off. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Good night, stupid.